Coming back on the come up, just getting ready to go into the Dulce revised and go into really what Dulce is. Dulce is actually a prison for treating the insanity. It's run by the Department of Energy. It's located up in the Archuleta Mesas in New Mexico. It's one of the Department of Energy's, I call it a Hitlerian Nazi New World Order, the fuck you want to call it, base. And the home of the Triton embryonic fusion device that they're using now for cloning. I call it the Beast device because it's a monster. I'm going to get also into the reason why they built this base. It was basically to treat insanity. It treats all kinds of ailments, people with all kinds of disorders. But they go farther than that. They're using nanotechnology in this facility to actually cure cancers. They've done all kinds of gene splicing, all kinds of bio hybrid clones they've done. I mean, it's a wild facility, and I will get into how this device is used, this embryonic fusion machine. And it hits these embryonic cells with different types of waves. They're actually speeds. It actually causes the embryos to fuse. So you might just take some reptilian cells or DNA and some human cells. They'll mix it, and actually they'll fuse together using this patented technology that they use with the embryonic fusion technology they're using, and it causes them to fuse. And basically the growth rate is increased once the embryo is in its growing stages. They basically put it in an incubator, and this incubator somehow the electron flow is actually speeding up the process of the embryonic growth. And once it gets to half stage, they move it to another containment, another biocontainment chamber, where they feed it amino acids, I guess, and red and white blood cells, where they finish up the growth process of this abomination that they're using. They do it at a molecular level, so they're speeding the growth process up of this thing. They study, like I said, they use a lot of the blood types they're using are Y negative, Y positive, Nymphlin type of blood types that have been around for a long time. Anybody knows about the Archon parasite that's been around for a long time, and they've harvested this parasite and they've used it in nanotechnology, and they implant it. Like I said, it's implanted in these devices inside actually the embryos and stuff. So they fuse them together and stuff, and they actually come out as whatever they are. They're half reptilian or half human. So that's how that works. I also want to get into also how they're using the electro-optical camouflaging and some of the other stuff that they're using on these innocent people and stuff. These people have been sitting around, and they're in cages, some of them. They're in like different types of rooms and stuff, and they don't get a chance to do anything. I don't know if they're from UNICEF, or they're just slaves from third world countries. I don't know where they get these people from. I mean, maybe this missing children stuff, there's something to it. I don't know. I don't see any evidence of this stuff. Anyway, I worked at Sandia National Laboratories in Albuquerque, and it's connected. I got my jobs through them, through Dulce. They're connected with it. And also Kirkland Air Force Base is also connected to the biogenetic engineering facility at Dulce. They're all interconnected via tube shuttle, so they all are connected. But anyway, let's get back into. I want to get back into the electro-optical camouflaging that they're using. They have an invisibility man pack that they used also at Montauk, and it uses basically a laser with a special screen. And when the laser, I'm going to put in layman's term, the laser hits the screen, and it basically cancels out or throws the photon light energy 360 degrees out of phase, so you don't see anything behind the screen. But what they've done with the Invisibility Man Pack, they've wrapped the screen, they made wrappings, they made a suit out of this material, laced. They activate the gases in the material of the screen. They use a laser, and then basically it cancels out, throws out of phase the light energy behind it. Also, they're using another cloaking device, which I'll get into, which is at a molecular cellular level, using liquid crystal holograms, and I'll get into that too, and how they use electric current from the telepathic interfaces to actually activate the liquid crystal holograms for actually cloaking devices they're using to cover up whatever they want to cover up. So whatever you are, your physical makeup will be masked by this. And what it does is it sends electrical current to the implant, and your body is emitting electrical current, connects into these liquid crystals. And these liquid crystals get energized, and they send out light energy through these prisms. Millions of little crystals in them. These little crystals project energy out from your cellular level, so it can camouflage what you look like. You won't look, who you are. So that's a little bit of how that works with they're using that. And they did, like I said, this reptilian stuff is, some of it's real. I mean, whatever you want to call it. I mean, they have a way of activating the hypothalamus part of the brain using nanotechnology, and I'll get into the parasital Borg Sith technology that they're using. Not in chemtrails. This is an artificial one they create in the lab. It's based off of the Borg. It's Borg Sith, meaning it's part biological and it's also electrical, and they interact with each other. I'll explain how that activates, how they activate that portion of the brain that's not activated through the TRW systems interface. Will work with this nano, not a nanobot, it's just a nano particle, and they can activate that via the microwave signal. Can